Here's my 30-second story with Guinness. As soon as my sister and I get home for the holidays, we don't even unpack. We head straight to our pub. The bartender already knows our order, Guinness and fries. We laugh all night, catch up with old friends, and walk home with faces sore from smiling. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. That was my 30-second story with Guinness.
Guinness Draft Stout. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by Diageo Beer Company, USA, New York, New York.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is better than 90s hip-hop. We'll remind you of your childhood without making you feel incredibly old. Kraft Mac and Cheese. Best thing ever.
There was almost nobody left except for him, who I couldn't believe was leaning on my car with his urine-soaked pants. It was a dirt parking lot. He had fallen in the dirt and was leaning against the car, like drunkenly back and forth.
This is the plaintiff, Ashley. She says the drunk as a skunk defendant scratched her brand new Audi Q5 in the parking lot of a bar because he was using the car to hold himself up. The kid really stinks because he thinks he can get away with not paying her the $1,242.60 she's owed. But she's here to teach him a thing or two about life, so she's suing. This is the defendant, Luke. He says he was simply standing by the plaintiff's car, and when she noticed it was scratched, she blamed him. He wasn't leaning on her car, is being blamed for something he didn't do, and there's no way and you know where he's paying her all that money. He's accused of getting a girl hot and bothered.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Okay, Ashley and Luke, you've both asked us not to mention your last names, and we'll respect that. Ashley, you're suing Luke for $1,242.60 in damages to your car plus lost wages in having to pursue this. According to you, he damaged your car, correct?
Correct.
Okay, what happened?
Last summer, well, I should say last winter, December of 2012, I purchased a brand new Audi 2013. Last summer, I was at a tavern bar with my fiance and my friend. And while we were there, we were out, for the evening, having some drinks. I was the sober, dedicated driver for my car.
This is your fiance?
This is my fiance.
And who else?
My friend, close friend, Ian.
Okay.
So we were at...
How tall are you?
6'6".
Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
So we were at the restaurant. There was a band playing. Luke, who I never knew previous to this day, was seen there heavily intoxicated, had bumped into some friends, knocked over their beers, stepped on my fiance's foot, was really embarrassing for himself.
Okay.
In the bar, he was seen to have completely urinated his pants, soaked through in the crotch and to the behind.
Okay.
We stayed until...
Why did the bar continue to serve him? Why wasn't he tossed out?
I don't know.
Okay.
He should have been. He absolutely should have been.
So
But there was a young punk band playing at this small place, and he was just really rowdy. And so the end of night, around 1:30, we walked out to the car, and I had parked way far away at the other end of the parking lot because it's my brand new car, and I love it. And so we went out there, and there was almost nobody left except for him, who I couldn't believe was leaning on my car with his urine-soaked pants. It was a dirt parking lot. He had fallen in the dirt and was leaning against the car, drunkenly back and forth, hovering against my car. So I asked him to move. And
Wait, what was he doing?
He was leaning against
Just rubbing his butt against your car?
Because he couldn't stand. He was so
Wait,
drunk.
who was he with?
His friend, Corey.
Oh, he was with you?
Yeah.
Stand up, honey. All right, and what was Corey doing?
Just standing there talking with him.
Oh, they were just chatting right there?
I don't know what they were doing. We were walking out from the bar.
Okay, so then what happens?
So then I take out my phone, and there's a light because it's dark out. So I take the light
Do
on
you
my.
say anything to him? Like step away
I
from my
asked him
car?
to move away from the car.
Right.
I said, I hope you didn't scratch it, and I looked, and lo and behold, there's scratches there. So I tried to wipe it off, and they didn't come off. And he was so intoxicated. I asked him if he was going to pay for this, and he didn't answer me because he couldn't coherently speak. His friend, who was much more sober than he was, gave me his phone number.
Gave you his friend's phone number?
Gave me Luke's
oh, wait,
phone
stand
number.
up for a guy. Okay.
And-
Gave you the real one.
And his full name.
Yeah. Gave you the real name and the real phone number.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So we thought we'd be able to manage it that way.
And
civilly.
why did that happen? Because 6'6" was standing there?
We were actually getting our stuff from a friend's car, and we were on our way back. And we just so happened to be walking by her car when they were coming out of the bar. Those two started charging at us, and he was drinking, but not too heavily. They started pushing him because he was closest to the car. I was talking to her.
They started pushing him.
They were pushing him. I had my hands full because I was carrying all of our stuff from my friend's car.
What was the point of pushing him? What were they pushing?
Because they saw us near the car, and like she said, they
Get
thought
away,
we
like pushing him
scratched
to
it.
get away from the car?
I would say a little bit more aggressively than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How drunk were you?
Not very.
Not very drunk?
No, I
But
was.
a little bit drunk?
I had drinks that evening. Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Are you really?
Yes,
oh my
ma'am.
gosh, you look 12.
Thank you. Okay, so what happened was we were with a third person. He was the dedicated driver that night, and about halfway through the night, he wasn't feeling so well. He decided to leave.
I'd get a different dedicated driver. One more dedicated.
He wasn't feeling well all night, so whatever. He left. He put whatever stuff that we had in his car outside of his car where he parked, and just left there. And I told him that was fine.
Are you sure he didn't leave because you guys were so wasted and embarrassing him?
I'm positive.
Did you pee in your pants at the bar?
That is fabricated, Your Honor.
Okay, go on.
When we left, the next thing we were going to do was we were looking for a ride home, calling some of our close friends, relatives, brothers, sisters, to see if somebody wanted to pick us up. Option 2 was
What
just
time was it?
maybe 1 to quarter after, maybe. It was pretty late. And so we were both on our cell phones calling some people that we knew, people that lived in the area. Maybe somebody could
Is that
give us
when
a
you
scoop.
leaned on our car?
I was not leaning on her car. I was the closest.
What is your version of the story? That they walk out and they just grab the nearest person because they think that there may be a scratch on a black car? They're thinking that at 1 in the morning?
There was some
it's
sort
1
of-
in the morning, it's pitch black outside, they have a black car, and they just know that if you are walking by their car, you must have scratched it. I mean, that's kind of hard for me to swallow. Give me something I can hang my hat on, right? Because that kind of sounds ridiculous. If all you were doing was standing in the vicinity of her car,
We were the closest
why
people
would
to the
they
car,
wait?
yes.
Yeah, but they didn't see a scratch. They had to take the little pen light and go up to look for a scratch. So they saw something first that made them worry. So what was it? Just your non-drunken behind?
That I'm not quite sure.
Right, because you weren't drunk, you didn't pee on yourself, everything else is fabricated, so it's not that they just assumed you scratched their car. It's because all that stuff was fabricated. So what was it then that they saw that made them grab a pen light and go out and try to figure out if you'd scratched their car?
That I'm not quite sure of, Your Honor.
Well, they say it's that you were leaning on it while you were making those cell phone calls.
Well, it's the same kind of thing. Those scratches could have been there prior to that night. There's no way for
They
us to
could
know.
have. She's a little squirrely though, ain't she?
What's that?
She's a little squirrely. She's parking the car at the extreme end.
next
She
to this
knows
bar-
every little inch of it. She's kind of...
Next to this bar is a busy takeout pizza place, so I'm sure there was heavy traffic throughout the night there. I'm not convinced.
Show me pictures of the scratches. Did you fall?
No. I didn't have any keys. I didn't have anything that I could possibly scratch a car
What
with.
were you wearing that day?
I was wearing athletic shorts with a $20 bill in it.
Where do you get that he fell?
Oh, because it's a dirt parking lot and there was dirt on his urine-soaked pants.
Okay. Did you two were there?
Yeah.
You tell me. Go ahead.
We walked out of the bar and we didn't come charging by any means, but we did see 2 people by the car, and we pretty much, see him, just kind of leaning against it. He really was hammered like the whole night, just, drank way too much.
Had he peed on himself? Had you noticed that or not?
Yeah. Yeah, you could just bring 20 people in from the bar that'll say he had urine on both sides. I mean, as far as I know, it's urine. Maybe he spilt the beer, but I don't think anyone saw that.
Go on.
And then we, yelled at him get off the car, and she went over to check, with her light and whatnot. And there were words exchanged. There was no physical contact, but just,
You didn't happen to take a picture of the urine-soaked shorts, did you?
I don't know that. No, I
would've
didn't.
been great.
I would have
That
loved
would've
to
been
have
great.
done
Yeah.
that, but I
That
didn't.
would've been
I didn't
great.
think of it at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have.
I mean, he admitted to us that he did it, but then,
How did he admit to you that he did it?
we have a text. saying-
Well,
me see.
I spoke to him on the phone the very next day, and I wish I had recorded that. I didn't, but he openly admitted. He said he knew he did it, and that I was going to get a quote to see how much it cost to fix it.
Right.
And that he
Now,
would
you
pay
have a
for it.
text. In the text, he doesn't admit he did it, but he says, all I asked you to do was get a quote. I didn't say I was going to pay.
Exactly.
Or some weird
that's
thing
what
like
he put
that.
in. Yeah, going around it somehow in a text. Even
What I
though
don't understand is, what is the quote for? This isn't body damage. What are they going to do to get those scratches out?
I think that they have to go all the way down, like past the paint, to.
Because the paint is
Yeah,
scratched.
I tried to
It's not going to buff right out?
No, we tried
No,
that.
we tried
Yeah.
that, and
Okay.
that did not work.
Yeah.
It's
Alright.
through the paint all the way down to the metal.
It's just
below it.
principle. It's a new car, too, it's
Yeah.
it's not.
How drunk were you?
I maybe had like a beer the whole night. I don't.
Now
like
I know you're
drinking.
lying. That's it. Once you say that, I know you're lying. You're at the place.
Credibility's
How
gone.
old are you?
I'm 21, but
You're 20. Wait, you had to think when I asked you that. What year were you born?
22 in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So 21.
Can I say so?
Why did you give him his real name and number?
Because they were calling the phone, so I'm not gonna lie to them.
Oh, yeah,
and
because then you're
cause
going to get
more trouble.
your hiney kicked. Right. Yeah. No. Good move. So your theory was survive tonight, and we'll deal with the rest of it later.
Well, I just figured it was the logical thing to do to exchange information instead of trying to run from a situation.
Right. Except for that he's taking no responsibility now. And
Nothing to take
I
responsibility
know that
for.
you told, yeah, but you did tell her to get
No,
an
I-
estimate and show it to
No,
you.
I
know you did
assume-
because I see the text where you say, I told you to get an estimate. I didn't say I'd pay for it. What's the point of telling her to get an estimate?
I wanted to see what kind of damage she alleged that I created.
So what
Dude.
would have been an acceptable number?
I'm not quite sure. But what I
But 551 wasn't.
No, that's ludicrous.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, is this guy responsible?
Yes.
Why?
Because he asked for the estimate.
Okay, that's a fair point. Asking for the estimate, is that like consciousness of guilt?
Not only that, he was drunk. He doesn't remember everything, but I believe he's guilty.
Well, that's a fair point, but again, he says, I didn't do it. Is asking for the estimate, does that kill him?
Yes.
Because a person would not ask for an estimate, right?
Exactly right.
If they didn't do it. Okay, we're going inside the courtroom.
Let me see the estimate. Did you get any other estimates?
No. This is directly from the Audi dealer.
Right. So why are you suing for $1,242.60 when the estimate's $551.96?
Because I had to miss a day of work.
If you were a brain surgeon and your wages were, $10,000, would a $500 case become a $10,500 case because you can't get lost wages in a situation like this? Can I hear from you? Switch with him, will you?
Thanks.
You remember this night? How much had you had to drink?
I had a handful of beers. We were there
How
all
about
night.
that guy? How much did that guy have to drink?
I'm not sure. I wasn't paying attention to.
How much did she have
anybody
to
else,
drink?
But nothing.
Nothing at all?
No.
That's good.
No.
Okay, so
Just
go on.
responsible. Actually, a designated driver for once.
Okay, for
so
once.
yeah, I mean, we
You
were
mean
leaving.
for once you had a designated driver, or for once
Well,
she was?
So actually, yeah. Either way.
Okay.
So yeah, we exited the bar around.
Tell me
last
about him.
call time.
Had you noticed him beforehand or not really?
Yeah, a couple times when because I was hanging around near him and her the whole entire night.
And you guys have been making fun of the fact that he had peed on himself?
No, we noticed that at one point later on, but no, we had very little interaction with him other than when he stepped on my friend Dustin's foot. And we just kind of observed him a little bit here and there. He was definitely staggering drunk throughout the night. And then after it's starting to become closing time, so we exited the bar. Her car was parked far away. We walked down. I saw he was clearly kind of swaying and leaning against the car. And I mentioned to her, like, hopefully you didn't scratch it. And so then as we got closer,
all hell broke
took
loose.
the light out and saw that he did scratch it. And
okay.
then, yeah, his friend seemed pretty reasonable and wanted to get us his information so we could
Well,
settle it.
why did his friend have to give you the information? He wouldn't give it to you?
He was too hammered to really even be able to formulate thoughts at that point.
Okay,
so.
why did your friend have to? If you weren't hammered, why didn't you just give him your information?
At the time, they were kind of physically coming at me, and he decided to diffuse the situation with
That
Ashley.
doesn't make any sense. You know I have lived, right? You do know that, I mean, you may be a
That's
young,
what
tender
happened.
21, Okay, Opie. But I have been around the block. I am 52. I have been around the block. I do not believe for 1 second that they came over and just started pummeling you with fists, and then he to calm them down. I mean, come on. There's a dialogue. They're like, what's going on? You scratched my car, blah, blah, blah. Give me your name. You can't just give your name? Why does he have to be persuaded of the wisdom of somebody giving them the name and them calling to verify that that phone's going to ring and that it's a real phone number and name? That happens because you are unable to give your name and number. Maybe they're unwilling or unable to give your name and number.
I was unwilling.
All right, I'm going to order you, I'm convinced, I'm going to order you to pay the $551.96 plus your court costs. That's my verdict. Good luck, folks.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thanks.
Both sides, hold on, please.
Well, here come the 21-year-olds. Well, almost 22. Here, step in here. No, you. Come on. What's your take on this outcome here?
Yeah, tough break, you know. I learned a lesson.
Like to know what that lesson is, you think?
Don't stay up. Don't be out that late.
Really?
Absolutely.
So you've
only bad things happen after.
You've turned over a new leaf?
I hope so.
All right, we hope so. All right, then.
Hey.
Anything out of you? You mad at him for giving you up?
No, it's not a big deal. We're friends. We'll be friends.
All right, head right down this way.
Thanks so much.
11 o'clock curfew.
Yes, sir.
All right, come on in here. You okay with how this all comes out now?
Yes, definitely.
What do you think they were afraid of the big guy?
I think so.
Or what? Is that what made the whole thing
I think so.
resolve at the scene like that?
I don't know. Maybe then, maybe that night, but...
What were you prepared to do if he wouldn't give you the information?
Was I prepared to do it?
Yeah.
Just get his number. I mean...
Yeah, how would you do that?
I'm intimidating looking.
Okay. All right, Harvey.
Got to tell you, your conduct immediately after the incident and then subsequent to that will be very relevant in deciding who's telling the truth and who's lying. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by McAfee.
I found this great place to stay this weekend.
Click on the link and book it.
Oh, wow. McAfee alerted me that this site is fake and even blocked it.
Cyber criminals create fake sites to steal your passwords and financial data. McAfee identifies and blocks these sites to keep you safer online, so you can book your trip without worry. Learn more at McAfee.com/online protection.
Meet the computer you can talk to. With Copilot on Windows, working, creating, and collaborating is as easy as talking. Got writer's block? Share your screen with Copilot Vision to help spark inspiration, and use Copilot Voice to have a conversation and brainstorm ideas. Or maybe you need some tech help. With Copilot Vision, Copilot sees what you see. Let Copilot talk you through step-by-step guidance so you can master new apps, games, and skills faster. Try now at windows.com/Copilot.
This is the plaintiff, Letitia Jenkins. She says the defendant's crazed dog attacked her dog, Jalen, bit him in the eye, and now she's having one heck of a time getting the defendant to reimburse her for the vet bills. She can't believe the defendant's actually trying to get out of paying her back, and that's why she's suing the ignorant and rude woman here and now for $653, the money she's owed. This is the defendant, Patricia Saunders. She says there's no evidence her dog attacked the plaintiff's dog. No marks, no blood, no nothing. The woman's trying to get money out of her. There's no merit to this lawsuit, and she thinks the judge is going to agree with her wholeheartedly. She's accused of letting her dog get loose.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant's dog attacked her pooch, biting him in the eye. But the defendant says there were no marks or blood, so it's a big scam. It's the case of an eye for an eye.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay. Letitia Jenkins, you are suing Patricia Saunders for $653 in vet bills for injuries you say her dog did to your dog.
Yes.
What happened?
On December 16th, my son and I were walking my dog down Lawrence Avenue, and as I was approaching Miss Saunders' house, I noticed her dog in the yard by itself, and nobody was there.
And no fence?
No, it's like a partial fence, like part of it is out.
But it's not enclosed?
It's not enclosed.
Okay, and did you know Ms. Saunders?
No, just
Okay.
seeing her.
Did you
as
know
I
the
walked-
dog? Like, had you seen the dog? Okay. So you see a dog out on a front lawn with no leash. And what happens?
What happened? Her dog came running out the yard and jumped on my dog and just was like wagging my dog, like wagging his head.
What do you mean wagging your dog?
You know, like pulling at his head, like, you know, like
She had
shaking
clamped
him.
down her
Clamped
dog?
down.
Is your dog a he or a she? Ma'am? Ms. Saunders,
Girl.
is your dog?
She.
Okay, so she had clamped down?
Clamped down on my dog.
On your dog somewhere in the head?
Yeah.
And was shaking back and forth?
Yeah, and I was screaming, you know, trying to, you know, for somebody to help me or somebody to help me pull him apart or something because her dog is much bigger than my dog.
Okay.
And I don't know how much time went by. Then Miss Saunders come running out eventually, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." She didn't
What
even
was
know
the dog doing out without a leash?
My dog darted out the house, and when we came in,
Who did what wrong? I mean, it's not, the dog's not supposed to be outside without a leash.
she was inside her yard, and I was getting her.
The problem with, is your yard enclosed?
No, it's not.
Okay, then here's what might happen with an animal if you don't have the animal on a leash is they may run up to a dog that's enticing to them. That's what they do. That is their nature. So you can't say, well, she was on her yard. I mean, that's, you know, obviously she got off her yard, but it doesn't even matter.
She didn't
She's
leave
not,
the yard.
It's not the dog is totally cool. It's the human behavior that the law looks at. The dog was being a dog. It's the human who's not supposed to have the dog loose. The dog was loose. Why?
Okay, so the backyard's unenclosed. The dog attacks. Does the defendant have a defense here?
Yes.
What?
Well, if someone attacked my dog, I'd be very angry.
Oh, no, I get that. But the question is, if there's a fence, if there's not a fence, is the defendant responsible?
Yes, of course.
If there's not a fence, is the defendant responsible?
Well, not really. If he might be poor, then, like, he might not even have enough to buy a fence.
Oh, I got really sad going inside the courtroom.
When we came home from work that day, my sister-in-law opened up the door, and the dog darted past her. When she darted past her, she walked down the stairs and went right straight to the front door. And when she saw another dog in the yard, she yelled to me, and I came. And once I came, I yelled to my dog, and she came back immediately.
Did you witness the dog doing the
No, we never
Animal
saw my
Kingdom
dog
thing?
on her dog.
Okay, so you came out and your dog was doing what when you came out?
My dog was in my yard behind my car, and I said, Ginger, and she immediately ran back to me.
Okay, so I guess it was all over by the time she came out, or are you saying she's lying because she did witness it?
She's lying because she was nowhere near. She told me she was inside getting her dog's sweater, so I don't know really how she could see the dog.
No,
do
she says
anything.
when she came out, it was all over. She didn't see anything.
her dog. No, she called her dog, and her dog came to her.
Right.
From off my. I had
Did
not
she
picked my
witness
dog
any
up.
of the?
No, she
Okay.
wasn't there. Nobody was outside with the dog.
Okay, so how about her? Is that the sister-in-law?
Yeah, my sister-in-law
How about was the
standing at the
sister-in-law
door.
out there?
She was standing at the doorway watching Ginger in the yard.
You
and
didn't
that's
see
when
her.
she yelled
I
to
didn't
me.
see
All right,
her
so
sister-in-law.
now what did you do?
I then
after
picked
this?
my dog up after she came out, and she was very apologetic, you know, saying that she was sorry. She just ran inside real quick to get the dog's sweater. And, you know, I'm showing her that my dog's eye had like a scratch on. It was like blood on his fur. He had his little jacket on, so I didn't really know what full damage the dog had until I got home. But
And
I
then
did
you
show
got home
her.
and what?
I got home. I took the dog. The dog was crying. I was like, well, what's going on? Like, I took his jacket off. I examined him. I noticed he had a gash in the back of his, like on the side of his neck. And, you know, he just kept crying. I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I don't know what to do.
Can you give me all of your vet reports, please? Was there just one vet?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Originally, when she came to the house and told me that my dog attacked her dog, she said she was holding her dog in her arms, and she showed me the dog's face. She said, went home already. She was already with the dog. Maybe 2 hours later, she came back to my house, and she said, look what your dog did. And she's showing me that my dog scratched, I think it was the right eye.
Right. The medical report actually does say puncture wound left neck, luckily very small, slight bleeding noted, above right eye, very superficial abrasion, IV fluids, IV antibiotics, x-rays. That's the obligatory vet screens, CBCs to lab, clipped and cleaned left neck wound.
When she showed me her dog, the injury supposedly,
What's your defense?
She was home. I didn't have a problem with paying her, but the bill was extremely high. And originally, she showed me an eye, so I go to bed that night thinking it's just a scratch or something like that. Maybe I'll pay $100, $150. But when she brought the bill to my husband the next day and gave it to my husband, it was for $653 for all of this extra stuff. And the bill that she gave me didn't explain anything. She never told me until the next day. She said, oh, and then she showed me a picture in her cell phone of her dog's wounds on the back. She never said anything about a wound on the dog's back. The only thing that I saw...
Back or neck?
I don't know. She just showed me a picture.
It's the neck and the eye. I have the vet bills, and I have the vet report.
I never saw any blood. I never saw anything. It was, my dog's mouth is white.
Right,
so
but
I didn't see anything on my
but
dog.
what do you think? What is your defense? Your defense is the vet bill's too high?
Yes. Because from the beginning, I told her I did apologize because my dog was not on a leash in her own yard. But I didn't see what happened.
Were you on her yard?
No, ma'am.
Where did the attack happen?
In my yard.
On the sidewalk?
In my yard.
Okay, what do you think is, you weren't there, so you didn't see it, so how do you say that it happened in your yard?
My sister-in-law was at the front door.
You tell me, come on up, honey. Because I want to know how the dog with the leash goes over on the leash to the lawn where the other sentinel was just standing there calmly but being messed with. Tell me all about it.
No, they fences like this. When I looked out, I said, Trisha, there's a dog out there, right? Because next door...
Why didn't you just go get the dog?
Because I don't mess with dogs. I don't.
And why was Trisha... Who brought the dog out?
She ran out the house.
Who opened the door so that the dog could run out of the house?
Me.
Okay, you didn't notice that the dog was coming out?
No.
What's the point of the fence if it doesn't go all the way?
We're getting a no fence part.
Oh, you're getting the moving one for the driveway? You know, it's interesting because what you're entitled to in court are reasonable expenses as a result of the negligence of the defendant. And there's clearly negligence on the part of the defendant. The dog can't be loose because this is the kind of thing that happens when dogs are loose. Her complaint is, well, the bill's too high. It's not a reasonable, foreseeable expense because the injury was so minor that
the injury was minor,
I gotta say, they did kind of, I mean.
You know why? Because it was a 24-hour vet. It was not, it was after
What time did it
hours.
happen?
It happened after 6, and the regular
Is that accurate that it happened after 6?
Yes.
Yeah, that is a problem.
I thought it was high,
I'm going to order the defendant to pay the vet bill. $653, verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
So the defendant comes out of here. The plaintiff has just sued and won for everything she sued for against you.
I didn't think it was fair.
Why not?
Because the extreme amount of the vet bill.
Well, the after hours.
The after hours,
You know,
before
if your dog's going to bite someone, it's got to bite someone during regular business hours if you want to be sued for less money.
Okay.
Right? All right, so how are we going to make sure this is never going to happen again?
Well, we don't let her run out the house anymore.
You don't but...
We don't let her run out the house anymore. She's an older dog. She doesn't do it often. So we don't let her go out the house like that anymore.
All right, okay, get that fence finished. Right down there. All right, so come on in here anytime. Come on. All right. Satisfied what you got? I guess you got everything, right?
Yes.
Really? How about the way they treated you here? Why did this have to go all the way to court?
I guess she felt the bill was too high. I thought it was high myself, but it's the point of 24-hour vets. They charge whatever they like, I guess.
Mm-hmm. How shocking was it to you when you saw the injuries?
I mean, the injuries weren't really that bad, you know, like the judge said, but it happened.
Okay, Harvey.
Okay, here's the deal about the leash law. If the dog is not restrained, either by a fence or whatnot, and the dog gets out, the owner is responsible. By the way, it doesn't matter if you're poor or not, sorry. Going inside the courtroom.
Did you know that parents rank teaching financial literacy as the toughest life skill? That's where Greenlight comes in, the debit card and money app made for families. With Greenlight, you can send money quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and track spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn how to earn, save, and spend responsibly, while parents have peace of mind knowing smart money habits are being built. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Spotify.
This is the plaintiff, Kim Morris. She says the defendants rented her an apartment, which was unlivable, so she refused to move in. When she asked for her money back, the defendants told her they'd already spent it on something else. Bottom line, the defendants seemed like the nicest people at first, but looks can be most definitely deceiving. She's suing for $3,700. The money, she's out. These are the defendants, John Schultz and John Schultz Jr. John Sr. says he has no idea why the plaintiff had a sudden change of heart about moving into the unit they were renting. Seems like she's the type who isn't happy about anything. It's actually humorous what the woman's now suing them for because she's the one who had the fiduciary responsibility to move into the place and did not. They're accused of ticking off a tenant.
Yes. All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendants rented her an apartment, but it was such a disaster she didn't move in. And she got stiff to boot, by the way. The defendant says she's just a big complainer. It's the case of you make my belly ache.
Thank you, Douglas. Kim Morris, you are suing John Schultz Jr. and 7 South Atlantic Street Corporation. Your landlords for $3,700 that you say they owe you and refuse to pay you. What is going on?
Well, Your Honor, what happened was I found the apartment on Craigslist, and it was listed for $13.95. I met John Schultz Jr. at the apartment, and the apartment was damaged. It looked pretty bad. It was I don't know. He said the last tenants left it a mess.
Okay.
So at that point, I asked him if we can...
I'm sorry, what area was this in?
This was in Bayshore.
Okay, was Bayshore affected by Hurricane Sandy?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
So I was very, I needed a place to stay. So I agreed to clean the home. First, I told him I would get a cleaning woman, which he didn't let in prior to the first of the month.
Okay.
So on the first, when I found out that he wouldn't let anyone in to clean, I told him I would clean if he would pay me.
So how was he going to pay you? What were they going to do? Rebate the rent? Like let you pay less rent or?
Well, he was going to give me cash at first. And then once I gave him the month's security or the month's rent, I hadn't taken it out of there. So he said, don't worry about it. He'll start to take it off the rent once I did move in.
Okay, and how much?
It was supposed to be $100 per day.
$100 per day?
Yep.
Okay, go on.
And so, anyway, so after I cleaned the house, it took me about 6 days to clean the place. I started to speak with
How big is the place?
It's not that big. It was just...
Why did it take you 6 days to clean it?
Because it didn't look as messy as it was when I first looked at the place. When I first looked at it, it looked okay. It just looked like it needed some cleaning up. But once I started to clean, there was things coming from everywhere. I mean,
you're gonna have to be more specific.
Behind each radiator in the home, there was big, large amounts of garbage. There was black mold.
Do you have pictures?
Yes, I do.
May I see it?
Sure. They're on my phone, so I'm just gonna put it.
Okay. How small are they? No, it's not bad. Okay, when you agreed to clean and move in, what changed? Because you decided you weren't going to move in.
Right.
Okay, but you agreed that you had agreed to move in, and that's obviously why you're there cleaning. And then what happened? What changed?
Well, the agreement was for the rent to be $13.50 with a year lease. Probably about the third day I was there cleaning.
Why isn't a lease getting signed before she's in there?
Because I was agreed to go in there to clean, not to move in until things were taken care of.
Were you leasing to her from the first of the month or no?
Yes.
So why didn't somebody hustle and get a lease before the first of the month?
We did produce the lease. She wouldn't sign it.
Why wouldn't she sign it?
She wanted a year's lease.
And what had you provided her with?
A month to month.
Okay, and was that a mistake or?
No, that's what we give month to month. She doesn't have any security. She just gave it first and last.
So you had never intended to give her a year lease?
No.
All right, then she said, I'm not signing that unless it's a year lease.
Right.
And you say?
I said, well, she took the key and started cleaning.
I guess you had some of her money. You figured, let's see if this works out. All right. So what money did you have at that point? You had the security deposit, which was $13.50.
We had first and last, ma'am.
First and last. That's what you had. First and last.
Yep.
All right. So now it's day 6 when you decide you're not going to keep the place.
Actually, I spoke to them before. I spoke to them on the the 4th, and I told them, you know, if you're not going to get me the lease that I'm supposed to get, I'm not going to take the place. And also, if you're not going to be here to fix any damages, because there were other damages that
Like
needed
what?
to be fixed. Like under the kitchen sink, it looked like the pipes were leaking really badly, which there's photos of that. And also the refrigerator, the wire was completely cut and split in half. So things like that had to be done. And I told him I would not take the place if these things weren't done. I also explained to him that...
Wait, but it was the 4th. Like, what made you think they weren't going to be done?
Because he kept telling me he was coming there and he would take a whole day and do the work, John Jr. I would come, I'm going to do the work, and he would never show up.
Okay, let me hear from you in response.
The whole apartment was painted, Your Honor. When I showed it to her, it needed paint. We painted the whole apartment. There was a little fray in the wire refrigerator, which I told her I'd get to it. She didn't turn LIPA on, so she had no power. So I wasn't going to rush there and fix the refrigerator that there was no power. She didn't put the meter in her name yet, so there was no power for the refrigerator. So I was going to get there as soon as I could. As soon as she had power on,
I mean, the place is kind of filthy, because I'm looking at the pictures. It's not like she's making that up.
Right. That's
so
why.
How much were you going to pay her for cleaning?
She said $200. I would take it deducted off the rent for her.
$200?
$200, yes.
Okay. Not $100 a day.
No, it's a 2-bedroom apartment. It was a $200 apartment. All the walls were painted. It just needed a little stove, whatnot, refrigerator.
Okay. So what day did she say, I don't want to live here?
I believe it's a week. A week that transpired.
What caused you to say, I don't want to live here?
Because I noticed that he was standing me up several times. He bought over a lease.
Did you stand her up?
No. I said, okay, call me as soon as LIPA's on. I'll come there and, get it all straightened out.
Okay.
How am I going to fix the refrigerator? There's no power. How am I
Well,
going to know it's even working?
for when there is power. But anyway, I guess it'd be hard for you to tell.
How am I gonna know it's working?
Okay, so then what happens? On what day do you decide I don't want the place?
Around the 4th, I have text messages showing.
Let me see the text messages. Oh, they're in here.
Yeah.
Okay, here's from you. Not to bug you, but if the landlord is interested, I know a cleaning lady that will clean the apartment spotless for around $200, including supplies. She works locally. I notice the place needs a real good cleaning. Is it possible? I will ask him. Who is this who you're texting with?
I was texting with John Jr. I never knew they were related in the beginning. He was saying
Okay.
he worked for him.
I forgot and gave you the full amount. So the $200 for cleaning you can deduct next month. So why are you suing for $600 for cleaning?
Because it was only 2 days that I had cleaned in there. So he said he would give me the $200.
Really? It's not that the plan was that you'd get $200 for cleaning?
No, it was not the plan from the beginning.
Because that's what it looks like from all your texts.
Right,
That's what
that
it looks
was
like
from
from
the
both
cleaning.
texts that I read, that it was $200 for cleaning.
That's if I was going to
what
get
if you
the cleaning
take
lady.
10 years? Will he pay you 10 years of...
No, it wouldn't have taken
No?
that long.
I don't know.
No.
Okay, so this tenant wants to turn this $200 credit into a $600 credit. Does that hold water?
No, shouldn't be $600 to clean.
How much does it cost to clean an apartment? A regular apartment.
$20.
How much?
200.
That's what I think. Going inside the courtroom.
Here's what I know, and here's what I need to figure out. All right? First of all, you clearly agreed to take this apartment and clean. You cannot complain that it was dirtier than I thought. I thought I could clean for $200, but now I've changed my mind. It's dirtier than I thought. I've changed my mind. You could change your mind because you haven't signed a lease. But you have repeatedly said in your complaint, I never moved in. I never moved in.
I wouldn't move in.
I never moved in. You don't seem to understand what the contract is. The contract is you agree that you're going to move in and you're taking the apartment. That's the contract. Now, if they did not get you on... No, listen. If they did not get you to sign a 1-year lease, what kind of contract do you have? You have a month-to-month, which means you could change your mind after a month. But what do I do with the week you've already been there? You have in your possession, at that point, $1,350 for the last month and $1,350 for the first month. My understanding is that you returned the lion's share of all that. What did you return?
Here's your honor.
Okay. So you returned the $1,350 for the last month. You wrote her a check. And then you returned $825 of the first month. So you didn't even charge her for June. You just charged her whatever the difference is. You charged her $525 rather than charging her $1,350 for the month of June. Did you re-rent it in June?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
We
so
lost
you
it.
ate the rest of June.
Yes.
Okay. And you're suing why? Because you
he told
want
me he-
not just $525, but $3,700.
But I never told him I was going to move in there.
I don't know
until
what you're
after.
talking about. I just read your text. You did move in.
I
You took
told
the
him I
apartment
would
as
move
of
in.
June 1st. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what happens 99.9% of the time. That side returns the security deposit or the last month's rent, because you didn't have a security deposit, the last month's rent, and that side returns nothing of June. Nothing. That's what normally happens. Because it's June 7th when things fall apart. And things fall apart for things that were right in front of your eyes. Because it's not as though the dirty place you didn't know was dirty. That was fine. You have a new contract about that. Take $200 off the rent, everything's hunky-dory. Then you're telling me, well, it's because they didn't fix all this other stuff. And all this other stuff is the refrigerator that can't get fixed until you hook up the electricity.
It's not only that.
What really happened? What made you snap and change your mind?
Not only that, I was told by the neighbors, and I have a letter from one of the neighbors as well, that the home, because no work was done to it, is toxic. The pictures that I show you.
Now we're getting somewhere. You changed your mind because you were worried that the home is possessed by toxins because a neighbor said the home may be possessed.
Well, not because
okay. Did you ever have the city come down and look at it and declare, because then you're home free?
No, but during when I was cleaning, as you can see in the photos,
so you're suing for the 525. There's black mold in the apartment?
Yeah, it's in the pictures.
Okay, let me see
It's in the
it.
pictures.
Okay.
You have the phone still, or oh no, I have it.
This is a second floor apartment, ma'am. It never got wet.
Your Honor,
How did you come up with the figure for what to pay her back?
I was going to give her half a month. I thought we were going to re-rent it, but we never did.
Okay.
And plus this cleaning.
Where's the black mold?
It's all along the windowsill. It's a little hard to see in those photos because I had started.
All right, guys, I think we're done. I am not going to order them to pay 6 days when every single text you showed me says you agreed to do it for $200. Okay. I'm not going to order them to pay you pain and suffering. And I am not going to order them to pay you the balance owed from first month's rent because you're deciding to leave is a situation where they could actually have kept the entire month's rent.
Understood, but I never moved in.
It doesn't matter. There are consequences to making agreements, even if they're verbal.
It wasn't
and this
an
is a
agreement.
consequence of making that agreement, which I can see from all of your texts. My verdict is for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Your Honor.
Well, the plaintiff's coming out. You don't look too much the worse for wear. How did that go?
It didn't go the way that I was hoping it would go. I mean, I still feel like he owes me money. The place was disgusting. It's still toxic.
Judge Emilian lives for pictures of black mold and garbage and stuff, and your pictures just didn't live up to expectations.
I guess they're not as bad as...
Maybe the evidence doesn't back up your story.
I believe it does.
All right, right down there.
Thank you.
Okay, that's what she believes. What do you believe?
Well, I'm just glad it's over, and she has another apartment.
Mm-hmm. How tough was this hurricane?
Pretty tough, but
on you landlords.
Pretty tough, but that unit was never. It's the second floor.
Mm-hmm. Why'd you give her back more money than you had to?
It's just a.
Did you know?
Yes.
Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, if you rent an apartment and it's not done yet, if it's in work in progress, make sure the landlord writes down exactly what you're supposed to get when it's all finished and you move in to avoid disputes like this.